utilizing AI, Kundi-Tax. Kundi is a cloud accounting consultant for Xero. She helps accountants and business owners increase their digital footprint by improving efficiency and streamlining daily workflows. Her goal is to ensure that tax compliance is seamless by automating mundane processes. Kundi's role is to ensure each business that she works with has more time to focus on what really matters, increasing productivity and improving cash flow.
Over to you, Kundi.
Great. Thank you, Tendai. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. Hopefully you can hear me. Thumbs up. That's great. So what I'll do is I'll actually get my presentation ready and hopefully you can see that as well. Can you see?
Yes, we can.
That is amazing. Okay, so I won't actually go into too much detail as I know I've already been introduced, but I'm actually an accountant by training, and I currently work for Xero, which is fundamentally bookkeeping software that most accountants love. It's a cloud package, and so absolutely loved by most people, including small business owners as well, as it's really simple and easy to use. And I'll just be taking you through some of the highlights in case you already are in business or looking to set up your own business and need to make sure that you stay on top of the finances. A bit more about me. So I actually enjoy sports. I always have. Probably don't do as much as I've got older. So probably I'm more of the watching rather than taking part. And also I enjoy reading books, lately more listening than actively reading, as for some reason, I think social media has just made my attention span quite limited, but absolutely love a good audible. And I'm really passionate about my faith as it's a central part of who I am. I actively teach in church, teach the children, and I also have a faith-based podcast where I talk about various things about the Christian faith. So let's actually get into why we're here today. So I'm going to give you a short introduction on Xero and also talk you through how Xero can improve your small business, or actually just really help you set up for success if you haven't actually chosen a bookkeeping package yet. Could be that you already have a package. You'll probably be looking to speak to your accountant, hopefully after this, in terms of the package that you use. And also we'll just briefly look at some of the Xero features that we have for tax compliance. I will be honest and say I won't go too much into tax today, as my main focus is really on making sure that you've got the right tool to help you on a daily basis. And so just a quick disclaimer, and I'll just share a couple of takeaway points. Great. So again, welcome, and just really, really excited to chat to you about who Xero is, what we do, and why Xero is such a great fit for small businesses and their accountants that also work with the various small businesses. So just to set the scene, so Xero connects small businesses with the accounting tools and multiple apps and countless data points that you need all in one place. So actually, this is a great way to integrate everything that you need all together as one in the cloud. So Xero offers this at any time. So this is real-time access on any device. So as long as you have a smartphone, an iPad, a computer, and internet access, this is really going to be a useful tool for your business and just helping you to stay on top of the numbers. So the main purpose at Xero is just to really make life better for people in small businesses. I will be honest and say Xero was built with small businesses in mind. So just a little bit of background. I've actually worked for Xero for quite some time now and had a bit of insight from the founder of the Xero accounting app. One of his main challenges was really breaking the barrier between the language that his accountant spoke and the language that he spoke. And so oftentimes he would find He didn't look forward to the meetings, or maybe just really there was a barrier between where he wanted to get as a small business and the approach that the accountant took. So what you'll find is Xero just really makes that process of you understanding the finances less intimidating and just more inviting, really, and just helping you to engage with your business. So in its simplest form, Xero is a global platform, and it seamlessly connects with businesses, helps you to save time and enable you to succeed in what you're doing. So I say global because wherever you are in the world, there will be a Xero version that you can access. So we do have specific versions for certain countries, and also we have the global version accessible from anywhere. Great. So let's just talk about Joe. I'd like you to meet Joe. Joe is a small business owner who a couple of years ago found a new passion in buying auction houses and remodeling them. So he has converted this into a flourishing property business. Unfortunately for Joe, he's actually a builder himself. So he's been converting these rundown auction houses into luxurious properties that he can resell. Joe enjoys this business and he is really gaining momentum and loving the direction in which he's going. So let's take a look at some of the challenges that Joe has been facing since he started the business. One of the main problems is currently keeping on track with his invoicing and charging his customers. So most importantly, chasing his customers for payment. So he often has to do the invoicing late at night or during the weekend. And really, this just leaves him with minimal time to spend with his family and friends. Other challenges that Joe faces are he has to keep bags of receipts, and he needs to remember this as he has to send this to his accountant every quarter for his VAT returns to be prepared. And sometimes when he loses these receipts, he is immediately stressed out as he knows the requirement and he knows his accountant will not be happy with him. So also, Joe's business isn't financially healthy and actually might potentially fail as he's facing severe cash flow problems. And as we know, running into cash flow problems is a common challenge that cause many small businesses to fail. And this is something that is really bothering Joe. One of the main reasons for the cash flow problems is that Joe's tax caught him unaware. So he's often had to wait until the end of the year to find out what the tax bill will be. And to be honest, this hasn't been adequate tax planning on his part. As if this isn't bad enough, Joe's relationship with his accountant is quite strained at the moment, and he often finds the conversations with the accountant dreadful, but he knows it's a necessary expense for him to help his business grow, and to be honest, most importantly, for him to remain compliant. So Joe's accountant has been sending reports to him, but often he finds them intimidating and just really relies on the accountant. You know, whatever the accountant says is what he works with, but still doesn't really look forward or doesn't really understand these reports. So with all the administration tasks that he has, the cash flow problems in the background, you know, Joe is just wondering if he could just catch a break and find time to do what he actually loves, which is to grow his business into a healthy business that will just go beyond breaking even, help him to become profitable, and potentially just retire early. Now, I just want to ask a question. Does this sound like a familiar experience for anyone that might have a small business? Or does this sound like somebody that you might know that has these types of challenges? It's a bit odd because I know we're online, but feel free to just raise a hand in Zoom if this is something that you might be aware of. So having looked at all the challenges that Joe is currently facing, we'll just look at how Xero can make his life better, help him improve his admin burdens, improve the relationship with the accountant, and most importantly, to make sure that his cash flow position improves. So how can he work on that cash flow position? So what I've just done on the page so far is I've just thrown a couple of the features that Xero provides, and absolutely winners to help any business enjoy working with their finances. So first of all, you've got access to automatic bank feeds. So you actually don't even need to extract data from your bank automatically. You can just connect your bank account to Xero, and that will automatically send through the right information that you need. You also get unlimited access. So you can have multiple people working on the platform at the same time. So really, in terms of collaboration, this is one of the main elements that you can get. So you can actually invite your accountant and they can be looking at your numbers on a daily, or should I say on a frequent basis, helping you understand or helping you making sure that you're staying on top and matching all the relevant information. So what you can also see is we've got the Xero mobile app, and most importantly, you get that clear visibility that you need to see any trends, to see and forecast your cash flow position at any given point. Most importantly as well, we've talked about some of the challenges that Joe has, which I'm sure many people encounter running a small business, which is just really the storage of your documents. And so Xero allows you to store all your receipts, statements, whatever that may be, using a secure platform where you can always access that at any point in time when you actually need to have that data. So these are all the ways that Xero can make your life easier. So just to get a bit of a feel of the people in the room, I just want to understand if anyone has accounting software that they currently use at the moment, or bookkeeping software, and do you use any payment apps? So for example, PayPal or Stripe or anything like that? And I'll just have to look at the chat to see if there are any messages. Okay, I can see PayPal and Stripe, fantastic. I love that. Emily says Xero is a lifesaver. Great to hear that you're already using that. So yes, great. So what you'll find is Xero allows you to seamlessly connect all these payment platforms that you might use. So it might be PayPal, Stripe, which are the main ones. And so when it comes to invoicing, first of all, you can actually invoice online. So you've got the ability to create beautiful professional invoices, and the templates are already there for you. So all you need to do really is come up with a logo, upload your logo, and the next thing is connect your PayPal or your Stripe to that invoice. So, you know, I talked about Joe and how he has to spend hours and hours during the weekend. So Xero will just allow you to send that online invoice. You can send reminders that are automatically sent without you having to get involved. So these are all the great ways that you can actually just save time chasing for payment, making sure that you're integrating all these features. And like I said, your bank is already connected. So once those payments come through, they will also flow through to your bookkeeping package. And one of the great things is that your accountant is also going to have visibility of all this information as it flows through. And so absolute winner. One thing I'd just like to highlight is when it comes to apps, so if there may be anyone running, let's say a care business, or I don't know, you could even have a property business. We have specific apps. Let's just say you're employing people. This is the main point. So we have specific apps that you can easily integrate. So for example, there's what's called Plan Day, which you can easily integrate with Xero. It essentially helps you monitor staff, timesheets, that's the word. And if you have rotational sort of rotas that you have to prepare, Plan Day will help you with that. But what's really amazing is you can then connect all of that information to then flow through to your bookkeeping, which again really saves you time. So this is where the API aspect comes into place, as Xero has this open API where you can basically find any app that you need and connect it to just ensure seamless workflows. Great. And I hope I haven't lost you there, but it's all really about making sure that you understand if you're dreaming about connecting things together, this is the place to go. This is Xero is definitely the best app for you to use.
Quick word, Kundi, sorry. What is API? Because remember, sometimes we don't know what these things mean.
That is a good point. Okay, so when we talk about API, so basically that means applications, and I can't actually remember at this point what it stands for. So an API basically means Xero has the ability for you to connect several apps, and because you have that connectivity, as long as your app is also, let's say, in the cloud, and that means you can connect it. Usually when it comes to API and apps, I would say you want to use pre-built API. So you don't actually even need to understand what API is. You just need to make sure that there's an app that's available that already connects to Xero. And so all you do is click a button to connect the two, and it all works magically in the background.
Thank you.
I hope that makes sense. I think there's a question, but we'll get to that. So one of the main points that I just really want to buttress again is the cash flow issues. So as I've mentioned, cash flow is one of the main challenges that I know most people would be concerned about. And so once you are able to connect your bank, you're able to see, for example, what you owe, how much is actually in your bank account. You're able to see whether you're making a profit and how much people actually owe you. And so basically, once all this information is available, you can imagine your accountant would spend less time working on your numbers, and they can actually spend more time advising you rather than helping you just meet the regular compliance requirements. And if you think about it again, you're able to get paid faster. You're able to make smarter decisions once you can see what you need to pay, what is owed to you, and ultimately you're able to stay in control of your business. Okay, so I'll just move on to touch on tax briefly. So Xero does actually have flexibility to help you manage different types of taxes. So we've got the direct taxes and indirect taxes. So I'll touch on Xero Payroll to start off with. So with Xero Payroll, so whether you actually have 2 employees, 3 employees, Xero will certainly be a great place for you to easily set up. I will just say that there is a limit, but which is a maximum of 200 employees that you can set up. But that's actually a long time before you'd be looking to find something bigger. And what's really beautiful about the Xero Payroll platform is it also integrates with the bookkeeping again. So again, just makes everything all seamless and quite easy for you to set up. I also have their CIS. So if there are any people involved in the construction industry business, CIS is also a feature that you can easily manage. And also I've got self-assessment and corporation tax, but I'll leave that for today because that's mainly designed for accountants and bookkeepers. And actually, whilst I'm there, are there any accountants or bookkeepers in the room? If so, or on the platform. If so, please feel free to reach out to me if you want to find out more about how Xero can help you manage your clients' self-assessment and also corporation tax. The main one I would like to highlight is VAT or sales tax, depending on the region that you operate in. And so VAT is absolutely simple to manage within Xero as well. And so where you find you may have struggled every quarter, haven't looked forward to those VAT filings, Xero is just really ideal in helping you stay compliant and also just keeping up with any changes that HMRC makes as we're always making sure that we stay ahead of the game with that. So HMRC being in the UK. So again, I'll leave this in terms of tax because I know that this is most likely going to be accountants. So one thing I just want to touch on is making tax digital, which is something that will particularly be relevant to anybody running a business within the UK. So making tax digital If you are VAT registered, I hope you have already found a software that can help you stay compliant for making tax digital. Essentially, what this means is you can't file your VAT returns directly with HMRC anymore. And so even if your your annual income is less than 85,000, you do need to have a software that is compliant for making tax digital. And so certainly, I would recommend that you check us out if you haven't already found a software. But the main emphasis with this is you need to have a software that can help you keep digital records and also allow that ease of filing with HMRC every quarter. And also along the lines of making tax digital, I'll just like to raise awareness for anyone that might operate as a sole trader. So this is really relevant to sole traders. So you haven't actually set up a limited company, but you do need to complete your self-assessment. So just thinking about the changes that HMRC are making for tax. So there will be a change in the next 2 years, which I really recommend you speak to your accountant about. And what that change means is where you've previously been, let's say, filing your self-assessment once a year, you'll actually need to file 4 times a year, almost similar to VAT. But the condition for that is you have to be earning a minimum of 10,000 and above for you to move to this filing. And also similar to the VAT process, you then also need to keep digital records. And so making sure that you have the right software to be able to file quarterly is of absolute importance. Another group of people that will be affected by this, so if there are any landlords and also making a minimum of 10,000, you will also need to start filing 4 times in terms of your income and your expenses. So the self-assessment that we've had previously, that will be done away with. Again, as long as you've got a minimum of 10,000, you'll need to file quarterly. So main point here is please don't be too intimidated, but just speak to your accountant and ask them to make sure that they're helping you prepare adequately for the changes that are coming up. Great. So I know I've talked about a lot of things maybe unfamiliar to everyone here, but one of the things at Xero is we're really focused on making sure that anyone that does want to understand Xero has the right tools to support them. So as you can see on this screen, I've got a couple of places that you can head to. So let's say you've started setting up your business and you're not too sure how to do specific things. We do actually have a wealth of articles that would literally guide you step by step. We also have a team of support consultants, and they will also help you answer any questions that you might have. And lastly, we have a great community of people that are always on hand just to help with any learning or any questions that you might have on an individual basis. So just to close off, I'd just like to highlight that, you know, the main tagline that we've actually had at Xero for the past year is we are here to help you maintain a healthy business. And I'm sure you'd all agree, for you to access your wealthy place, you need to make sure that you've got the right foundation. And so just making sure that you've got the right software, investing into your bookkeeping software will certainly make the difference from you breaking even, enjoying working with your numbers, seeing the trends, and also just being able to forecast for the future in terms of your cash flow positions, and then ultimately just reaching and exceeding that wealthy place. So just a few pointers from me after this. Certainly, you can reach out to me. I'd be happy to help where possible. But also, I just want to recommend that you visit Xero.com, so Xero with an X, and you can set up a 30-day trial. It's just a free trial subscription. Just see how Xero looks and how you can actually start utilizing that. And also, I just recommend invite your accountant to that trial, get them to see how it's working, or even just get them to set it up for you. If you don't have an accountant just yet, we actually have an advisor directory. It's called the Xero Advisor Directory. And based on any location, you can actually search for an accountant close to you that is Xero certified, and so they can help you to get started. And ultimately, as I said, you want to get to that place where you can see the trends, better prepare for the future, empower yourself to make the right financial decisions for your business, and ultimately focus on your passion, which is growing your business. And Xero will certainly be the right tool in your hands to help you focus on that. And that's it. Do we have any questions?
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Kundi. I absolutely loved that, because most small business owners, when we start out, you're the accountant, you're the advertiser, you are doing everything. And so honestly, the admin, the paperwork, the filing is the last thing that you really want to get engrossed with. But it sounds like it is a solution for many. I saw a couple of people who had raised their hands, and you're missing now. I wanted to see you again. Do you want to raise your hand again? If you want to speak or ask a question, please raise your hand and I'll unmute you so you can share or ask a question. Someone's asking right now, Kundi, how much would this service cost for a small business owner about to start? What's the cost? Yeah.
Great. So what I actually did was I had a page ready. So in terms of the pricing, what you can do, because I'm not too sure what region you're based in. So let me just get rid of some information there. What you can do is go onto the Xero.com page and just type in /pricing. And you can scroll all the way to the bottom, and here where it says region. So based on the actual region that you're in, you can basically choose whichever region. So let's say your country is not listed, just select global, and then you can see the prices that would be relevant to your specific region. Okay, so yeah, and once you've chosen the region, for example, I'm already within UK. And if I scroll to the top, not knowing where the person is, you can see the various packages that we have. So we've got a starter package. And so this is really for someone that's not raising many invoices. So let's say you only need to create 20 invoices per month and create 5 bills. This is usually an ideal package for when you're starting out. It will still give you access to payroll, but some of these features you'd probably just then have to factor in an additional amount for each additional feature that you need. And so you then also have the standard and the premium subscription. Standard essentially allows you to create as many invoices and bills. The difference with standard and premium, if you are operating in several currencies, premium would allow you to have multi-currency based transactions. So yes, but just make sure that you're looking at the right region. Okay, she's just said UK. So we've just gone through UK, so that's perfect. I can see another question which says, where do I find an accountant? I'm about to start my own business, but I have no idea how to choose an accountant. Please advise. So I'm a little bit slightly biased for this. So what I would advise is you can actually find a Xero certified accountant. And I've got this page here, which is really Xero. If you type in Xero Advisor Directory, that's how you get to this page. And you can enter in the region that you're based in. So for example, let's say you are in Glasgow. I don't know why that came to mind. So you can just enter in Glasgow and select search. And this will bring up a list of accountants within your area that can help you get set up. These are all the various practices that would be close to you. And you can just actually click into that. It will take you to their page and they can help you set up your business onto Xero specifically. But I suppose without being biased, there are other platforms that you can find just accountants in general. I'm just thinking We've got what's called Accounting Web. So accountingweb.com. You can go onto that page, and normally you have people that advertise there, and you can find an accountant that way on that page. Accountingweb.com. Great. So those are the 3 questions I've seen so far. Not sure if we have more in the chat.
Someone wants to know if it applies to banks in Zimbabwe, the integration. I don't know if you're in Zimbabwe yet.
Oh, not yet. So if you're in Zimbabwe, you'd need to get a third-party tool. So basically, this tool would go into your bank and read that information and send it to Zero. We haven't got direct bank connections in just yet.
Is that one of those API things you were talking about earlier?
Oh, yes, I used that word again. Yes, so it's an API. So
Good. Okay,
basically,
I've done something.
it's essentially an app that would have that functionality of reading your bank data and converting it into a readable format for Zero.
Okay, that's great. Amazing. Any other questions, please pop them onto the group and we'll aim to get them across to Kundi in a final email we'll send to all attendees at the end of the conference. But thank you so much, Kundi. This was a really informative, great presentation. I don't know if anyone, has any comments, or you were thinking, oh, we hate tax. Even the disciples in the Bible, they didn't like tax, and the tax collectors were loathed and hated, because it's money you have to part with. But we've got to think about, when those resources are put into the accounts of an economy that's going to steward and make good choices, whether that's what's building roads and keeping our hospitals and our NHS functioning, is the money from taxpayers. So thank you so much for seeing how we can contribute or sow into our nations with ease through the profits that we make. So you've made tax fun today. So thank you so much, Kundi.
You're most welcome. I mean, I can see some people have also commented and say they don't enjoy accounts, but I promise you, I actually didn't show the dashboard. I was going to do that, but it's really, really simple and easy to understand if you've set up your business, and you'll absolutely find that you enjoy it. In fact, sometimes accountants tell us that they don't enjoy Zero because it's too focused on the business owner. And that's just how simple and easy it is.
Awesome. Awesome.
Right.
That's great.